here for round two. We're going to try this again. This is the Perspective Shifters. We're going to try to work around these tech issues today, and we're going to tackle the whole thing around how to start your business and that overwhelming start line. And you're standing there ready to go with the brilliant idea, and you just can't figure out how to move yourself forward. So, right, Jackie?
Yes. Yes.
Oh my gosh.
And you learn a lot from mistakes like technology and when it doesn't work.
No joke. No joke. Oh my gosh, you guys, thanks so much for hopping back on. I know there's a couple people back online with us. Thank you so much. If you can share this out with your friends to let them know that we're back over here
Yes.
on my business page. And we're going to tackle this today, and we're going to get through it, and we're going to get it done, and we're going to put this information out there to you. So my name is Erin Strayer. I'm a business strategist and growth consultant. And this platform is called the Perspective Shifters, where we talk about hot topics and pain points like technology. And we bring that front and center, and we tackle those things, and we bring you tips to work around them. So my guest today is the amazing Jackie Boyle, and thank you so much for working with this and fitting this into your schedule. She's super, super busy. She is a licensed pharmacist. She works at a university. She's also an assistant professor, and she is an entrepreneur. She owns her own business where she has a very fine niche of people where she empowers and uplifts and levels up other female pharmacists to empower those women in their environments to become the best versions of themselves, either personally or professionally, which is beautiful. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. And hi, honey.
Hi. You made it.
You start talking. Give a little backstory. I'm going to go back into Facebook off my phone here and put a little message in there while you're talking, okay? So I'm not avoiding you.
No problem. Yeah, so I feel like, I talked with Erin about this for the first time. Wanted me to focus on sharing some maybe tips or tricks that I've learned as I've started up this new entrepreneurial venture. And to be honest, part of it is thinking of yourself as an entrepreneur in a primarily science-based career. We don't have too much creativity to what we do, but for those of us with a creative itch or want to get kind of outside of the traditional career path, some of us want to look for other options of what we could do with our careers. And thankfully, I have found a passion in helping women in pharmacy. So I attended a meeting about 2 years ago now that focused on looking at women in pharmacy, challenges that we face, common themes or issues that keep coming up for us, but not only us, both genders or all genders, so to speak, and how we can approach life and work challenges together. I think just having a community of people to discuss common problems with or even bounce ideas off of is really the most rewarding part of being the behind the scenes person of what I'm doing with this new passion project. So I really just feel fortunate to kind of be a part of something new and exciting and scary and things that I don't know how to, like technology. I'm trying to learn, as you can see. So thank you so much, Erin, for allowing me to be a part of your community and being so positive and helping me through this as well. Yeah.
And hi, everybody. I know that there are some people now jumping on. I did a little behind the scenes stuff to let people know that we're back here, and there's, I don't know, a handful of people on here. So if you're here, make sure you say hi to us. Jackie, I super appreciate you being here and working with some issues. But yeah, for sure, if you're here with us, make sure you say hi with us and bring forward some questions as we go about what we're going to talk about and tackle today in the next 10 to 15 minutes here with Jackie. So you figured out that there was this kind of like gapping hole, right, with other females in your profession, and you developed the Pharmacy Girl, which is a resource for them. But how did that start? How did you figure out how to move forward with that? Was there a driving force for you other than this gapping hole?
Yes, actually. And this kind of gets to one of my points I wanted to touch on today is that you need to have a mentor or multiple mentors who encourage you and challenge you to get out of your comfort zone. So,
Oh,
finding this passion was very serendipitous and great, but then also finding someone who is in the field or an entrepreneur already. And for me, that was Dr. Tim Ulrich. So Tim, if you're online, or I will link you again later, but he has continually pushed me to do what I love and push myself out of my comfort zone, which has really helped. He also is an entrepreneur himself. So he has given me tips and tricks of, hey, I did it this way, this really worked well, or I did it this way and I advise not to do it. So
yeah.
I'm super thankful for him for paving that way for me.
Yeah. Hey, Laura's on with us. Thanks you guys for jumping on with us. I appreciate it. Yeah, the tech issues, it happens and we're powering through. So we're super happy that you're here with us. Those mentors are so pivotal for us in who we are as not only personal people, but our professional lives as well. And how, they're kind of like the shoulders that we get to stand on, right? Like, why recreate the wheel? Right? and it's super cool to where'd it go? It's super cool to be able to be able to take their advice and really apply it, like tangibly apply it to our day, right? And to our lives and to our businesses. So Tim, thanks for being that person for Jackie. That's awesome. So was he like a professor for you? Was he just an outside resource? Was he
Yes. Yes, so he was all of the above. I mean, he was my teacher when I was a student here. He's been my mentor as I've started my professional life, and now entrepreneurial venturing together in different niches of pharmacy, but have found things that we're really excited about and just get super passionate when we share it with other people. So both of us are in learning mode. He's way farther along than I am right now, but having someone to bounce questions off of that's in a space that you understand, it's super helpful. So I'm so thankful for him. I try to tell him enough, but I don't think I do.
Yeah, and you ladies, that's so huge for us. And it doesn't matter if that mentor is a male or a female, but as we are developing and honing our, who we are in our business, to have that resource, that mentor, that guru, that teacher, that example, right? To help us and guide us is so pivotal. And I agree 100% with you that's probably like your number one thing to do, again, is just to find that person that lines up with you and just totally 100% connect and click with them. What changed for you after you found Tim, your mentor?
Well, we had a couple of great conversations talking about, what is it that I'm most passionate about? How do I feel like I can help people the most? And I think I'm still figuring that out. I love being able to connect with women and men about common issues that we face in work and life and how to make it all work, and that it's not perfect and that's okay. It's okay to not have a perfect life. I think sometimes we only see the perfection, especially with social media now, but sharing with each other what are the common challenges can sometimes be super helpful. So for me, he's really that person who pushes me out there and has been a confidant, a mentor, everything, all of the above.
Yeah, I love that. I also have a couple different mentors that are huge and pivotal in my world. That it's really nice to have that person to bounce those things off and, oh yeah, we've been there. Right? Yep. You're going to get through that, honey. It's okay. And that kind of leads into, you and I talked about, that takes you out of that comfort zone, right?
Yes. Yeah, it can be very uncomfortable to get out there and just put yourself out there, especially on social media platforms like this or otherwise, but that's the only way you can really grow, right? So feeling vulnerable is normal in those situations, but you should know that at those moments when you feel most vulnerable, you are connecting with people. You know, you are connecting on a much deeper level, and they will connect with you because as humans, we are vulnerable sometimes. So I don't know if anyone has ever watched the Brene Brown TED Talk about vulnerability, but I absolutely love it. So I'd highly recommend that as a follow-up to this.
Yeah.
And you can grow and gain confidence by doing things that you're uncomfortable with. If you're in your comfort zone, then you're never going to become better, right? You can't grow, you can't learn if you're settling for where you are right now.
Yeah, you know, I'm 100% right there. In fact, I have a quote on my wall right here that says, "Your comfort zone is where your dreams go to die."
I love that.
It's right in front of me, right on my wall. And what that means to me is if you're comfortable, then you're not growing, right? Your dream has become stagnant, and there's no pushing the walls out there. There's no expanding. There's no growing. There's no continuing to impact the world in a bigger, better way with you. And yeah. So I'm so all over that, getting uncomfortable. And believe me, I've been so uncomfortable these last 6 weeks. It's not crazy with some of the growth that I've been doing.
Oh, no.
And yeah, but you know, it's cool, right? I mean, that's when you know the shift is happening, right?
Yes, absolutely. When you feel that change happening, and then you come out of it and you're like, wow, I lived, you know.
Yeah.
That's what makes it all okay.
Yeah, and you know, when you come out on the other side of it, then there's a whole new set of okay, now how do I integrate this into my new life? Like, hey Jen, how you doing? You know, how do you, once I'm through that uncomfortable and I've navigated that, now you're on the other side of it, and what does that look like?
Right.
Now
And
in life.
And maybe I'm making a big generalization, but as pharmacists, we usually like to stay in our comfort zone. We like to be familiar with the familiar and maybe not do things that are not too familiar. And that could be our science-based training. But if you do decide to move into an entrepreneurial space, you have to figure out how to integrate it into your life as it exists, because we're all busy, right? We're all busy people, but if you decide to make a jump into a business venture or something new, then you have to figure out how to make it a consistent part of what it is that you do every day. So for me, I'm an early morning person, and I squeeze it into early morning hours because nighttime is for my family, and after 9 or 10 p.m. I'm done for the day. So if it doesn't happen in the early morning, it's not happening at all. So for me, that's that's my place where I can squeeze it in. But everyone has their own schedule and can figure out how to fit this extra stuff in on top of all the other things that we're doing.
So your early morning looks like what for you? Like, what is that? Is your early morning like quiet time? Are you meditating? Are you journaling? Are you setting up your day? What are you doing?
Yes. So I wish I was a little bit more consistent with it, but I usually get up around 5 or 5:30, work out, and then make some time for business stuff. So whether that's half an hour or an hour, if you do one thing that contributes to your business every day, then that's one thing that you weren't doing before, right? So you're taking little chunks of stuff, and some of this stuff I'm still learning, but you're at least doing one thing that contributes to the progress of your business every day. So I have this venture, and I'm involved with a direct sales company, so I kind of alternate between the two of what I'm working on. But both of them I'm super passionate about. So for me, it's more fun than anything else, which it doesn't really seem to work.
That's awesome. Yeah, you guys, I know we're struggling with some audio here, so I don't know if you heard her there. She said she implements one thing every single day, and she normally does a half an hour of exercise and a half an hour of business work prior to going into her day, and that's what her routine is. And then to continually do one thing new every day that's working towards your business. So
And
I think that's beautiful. I know that a lot of people, Jen, who was on here, Laura, you said that you had some morning activities and that you do, and where is it, soul work? It's no joke, but it's totally worth it for sure.
Yes.
And I know that my morning routine it's a non-negotiable for me. And I practice on RPM, which is Rise, Pre, Meditate, in my world. And isn't that great? I know. I stole that from one of my mentors. Because RPMs are what rev your day up for me. So that gives my day momentum moving forward. So it just kind of resonates with me, but that's my normal morning routine also. And the change that happens, I think when you implement a constant morning routine, whatever that looks like for you, and you can talk to this, Jackie, and from your perspective of that consistency, and what that looks like, from your end and on a massive professional end, and right towards my
Yes. I mean, I would say that, life happens, and maybe there's a morning or a weekend or a week where everything is going wrong, or life is throwing you curveballs. And if you are taking a break, I feel like, at least in the creative space, people understand, when you need to say, hey, I'm not writing a blog post this week because things were crazy, or I can't do that event this week because something happened in my personal life, and that's more important at this point. So, we're all human, and sometimes we could put pressure on ourselves. So another thing, if you're thinking about being an entrepreneur, is that just know it's going to be challenging, and that's okay. People understand when things come up. So try for consistency as best as you can, and the power of habit and building habits and routines really helps you get into that. But if life throws you a curveball or something, radical happens that draws your attention away, that's okay too.
Yeah. And I agree 100% with that, that you got to give yourself a little grace for those, I call them, I don't give a shits, kind of days. But you have to give yourself some grace to move through that and to allow that. And ultimately that's, the universe and your body telling you to, hey, you need to slow down.
Yes.
And Self-care for sure.
Important.
For sure. I know that another thing that you're super passionate about, with the empowerment of women, specifically women pharmacists, to become the better versions of themselves, is the need to connect with other. Yeah. Let's talk about that for a little bit.
So I've hosted a few events. I'm part of a few events with women in pharmacy, and it is just amazing what can happen when you get the space to connect with each other. So can you guys still hear me?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yes, I can hear you. She might not be able to hear us. Oh, she jumped out. She's probably going to jump back in. Oh, yep, she's coming back in, maybe. But again, thanks you guys for hanging with us on this tech challenge. There she is. Yay!
Hi. Sorry, I couldn't hear you guys. So, the events I've hosted where there have been women that have had the space to share common issues, ask each other questions. How did you deal with this? How did you deal with this life event? What did you do to negotiate your new job, et cetera, et cetera. These events don't end. Like, we have a start and an end time, but people want to stay and talk. So I feel like some of these uncomfortable issues that we face, if we give women a venue to speak to them, we by nature are relators, connectors. Once we get a chance to hear each other out, even provide support for each other, then we all move forward together. So I've just loved being the kind of behind the scenes person again, to be able to witness all this happen, and have women reach out to me and say, you know, that blog that you wrote, or that other guest blogger wrote the other day really is just what I needed. And those little rewards just add up so much, and it makes all the time and effort and everything worth it. So I'm sure you find the same thing with your business, Erin.
Oh my gosh, it's hands down. It's those little comments and feedback from people absolutely fuel me and fill my cells just with complete, yep, you're right in your lane. You're doing exactly what you need to be doing. You're touching people on a daily basis, and the impact, going forward, how we show up is just exponential. I mean, once you start layering those one on top of the other, it just makes me smile, makes my face hurt.
Right.
Smiling.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy to think that you can be that much of an influence on someone's day or life or moments or whatever it is. Even those small things are huge.
Yeah. Hey, we're winding up our time here, Jackie, and I totally want to respect you. And I know that you've pulled yourself away from your job today to spend some time with us. So I really want to acknowledge that and be very, very grateful for that. I have a question for you. I always ask one question at the end of my interviews. And what do you think was the most pivotal change for you in your career so far?
Whoa, that's a big question.
Huh?
I said, whoa, that's a big question.
I know. Like, was there like one main, like, was it when you intersected, like your path intersected with Tim's, or was it, the one student in one of your classes that just really?
Yeah, I guess it's so hard to say what's the one thing. Gosh, I really wish I had a good answer for this. I mean, I've just had so many powerful interactions with not only Tim, but all of my mentors, that they really have shaped me. And, I've heard from them multiple times that the best way I can repay them is by giving back to others. So I guess I always keep that in mind as I'm doing anything, but especially with this new project that I'm working on. If I'm able to give back and mentor others, or even help someone in one little way, the mentorship that I've had has been the career-changing thing that I never knew I would have in my career.
Isn't that beautiful? It's just such a beautiful, like, it warms your heart. Like, it just makes you smile. And your project that you're working on now, Jackie, is that specifically just for female pharmacists, or what is that?
So the focus in the project I was just referring to is Pharmacy Girl. So it's definitely a work in progress. I started a year ago, started with just blogging, and then I'm moving into more career coaching and other services in the future. So I'm slowly chipping away at a bunch of different ideas, but I sometimes will survey my readership to see what it is that they want, because I have all these ideas of what I think would be good, but until I really hear from other women what they need, that's been extremely helpful. Also, just having conversations with women in the field has been great, because I've learned a ton. I also hear some common things that we need that I hope to be a part of the solution.
Yeah. And I think that's huge that you actually take the time. I'm just going to commend you on that you actually take the time to ask your tribe what they need and want, versus just giving them what you think they need. I think that's huge.
Yes. Yes, I try my best.
Do you, if it feels right to you and it lines up with you, your blog link, the post to your blog, the link to your blog, if you feel like dropping it in the feed when we're done here. So, like, I know Jen was on with us. There's a couple Jens on with us today, but one is actually a pharmacist that might really, benefit from your stuff specifically. But if anybody else is lining up that I don't know what their profession is, that tags along with us and would like access to that, would you mind putting that in there for the people?
Oh, absolutely. mean, I think a
Awesome.
lot of the talk are not specific to our profession. Some of them are very specific, and you can tell, but some of them are just common things that women face in professional life that we can help each other get through. So yeah, absolutely.
I love that. I love that. And thank you again so much for being on with us today, Jackie. Again, this is the Perspective Shifters, where we talk about these hot topics like tech and how we fit into the world and how we get past past the start line and get out of our uncomfort, our how we put ourselves in uncomfortable situations so that we can grow. And I really appreciate your time with us today, Jackie. And thank you again so much for taking yourself away from your job for a moment of time with us here at the Shifters. So
absolutely.
Much love to everybody out there. We'll see you right back here soon.